Oh, what is the upskis, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the GXWrestleCast. We're on episode 118 of my little wrestling recap show where I go through all of the major WWE and AEW shows, give you the review, give you the recap, let you know what's going on in both of the companies storyline-wise, and at the end of the show, I give out my 3 stars of the week, awarding my 3 favorite matches that I witnessed with my eyeballs. So we're going to do things a little bit differently this week. Normally we start with the WWE side of things, but since AEW was in my hometown, I don't live in Toronto, but they were in Toronto, I went to AEW and Rampage live at the Coca-Cola Coliseum where the Toronto Marlies play. I've actually never been there before, and all things said and done, I may not return to the Coca-Cola Coliseum. Not because the show was low quality, but the traffic. My God, the traffic in Toronto is pathetic. I mean, my wife and I left at just after 4 o'clock to get to the show. Doors open 6:30, and that was a solid hour more than we needed, and we were late. We got there slightly after 6:30, missed a few of the matches that Ring of Honor was holding, and yeah, dude, the traffic from Whitby to the arena was off and on gridlock traffic. Like, you're doing fine for 10 minutes, then bam, gridlock, stop to a dead halt for 10 minutes, and off and on all the way up until Toronto, and then getting out of there was even worse. You got thousands and thousands of people all getting out at the same time. It took, 30 to 45 minutes just to get out of the parking lot, and then a 2-hour drive to get home. Multiple crashes on the highway on the way home to avoid and get around off and on blizzards. Yeah, so the driving aspect of getting to the shows was 0 out of 10. Awful. Would not recommend it. But the show was a lot of fun. The show was a lot of fun, as always. So at this point now with AEW, I nailed my checklist. I've gone to Dynamite, Rampage, Collision. I've been to a pay-per-view. I saw Forbidden Door when they were in Toronto. So I've been to them all now. And I think I preferred my Collision show just because it was the first one for AEW. They gave us so much bang for our buck. Like, we got a Ring of Honor show, we got the Collision. It was a lot. It was great. And with this show, we get the Ring of Honor at the beginning, an hour of Ring of Honor. We got 2-hour Dynamite and an hour Rampage after, which was also live. That was the first time they've ever done that, so that's really cool. I appreciated that. So I didn't get to see a lot of the Ring of Honor stuff. We were finding our seats. We ended up sitting in the wrong seats, so we had to, and hey, we weren't the only ones. There was a bunch of people that just were sitting in the wrong seats, so it wasn't labeled very good. It was hard to see, but we found our seats. Good seats. I mean, the building was packed. They did not have that problem this time around. Last time they went for Scotiabank, which has way more people in it, like 19,000, and it didn't sell out. They had to close off the upper bowl and just brought us all down to the lower bowl, which was fine with me. And this time they decided, let's go to the Coca-Cola, won't have to worry about empty seats, and it was packed. It was absolutely packed. I don't know if it was sold out. There were some empty seats, but there's always going to be some empty seats out there. Regardless, good crowd, except for we had one guy who decided he's going to be a little bit of a dickhead and try and yuck my yum. My wife and I, we bring signs to the show. We like to bring signs because I know how much that means to the wrestlers. They love seeing people out there with signs. It means a lot to them, and I love bringing signs and showing off. I like to put on something clever. My sign said, Monet in the bank, and I need a father. My original section where I was sitting, I had like 5 people come up to me. He's like, oh, what's your sign say? Oh, that's great. That's awesome. And I'm very respectful with my sign. I am aware that if I hold my sign up in specific ways, people behind me can't see. I'm aware of that. And when I moved over to my new seat, we're getting adjusted, and the start of the show, Mercedes Monet comes out, and I have a sign for her, so I put it up, not in the air, about up to my chest, chin level, and guy behind me grabs me. He's like, yo, just so you know, people behind you can't see when you put up your sign. I'm like, bro, relax. Like, I just got here. I just put my sign up. It's Mercedes Monet. Like, everyone else is standing, and he was the only one sitting down. He was a very large gentleman, so I think standing may have been something he couldn't do very often, but it's something you're doing all the time at WWE wrestling shows. You're getting up, getting down. I was at the end of my aisle, and I had probably the most active aisle I have ever seen in a show. I was getting up and down, people coming in and out of the aisle. It was really annoying. Like, my whole aisle was just there to eat. I don't even know what they weren't watching the show whatsoever. Very disappointing. Guy behind me being a dick. I told him to calm down. Even his buddies told him to, relax. Dude. And comes to know that he's not a fan of wrestling. The whole show, he was asking questions the whole time. So he doesn't know the culture. He didn't understand the signs and everything. So I wasn't going to let this guy yuck my yum. I ignored him, and I continued on enjoying my show, putting my sign up respectfully, and I had a blast. But that guy sucks, and I don't want anyone else to be that person. If there is someone in front of you being really annoying with their sign and they're holding it up for multiple minutes and being unruly about it, then yeah, let them know that, hey, we can't see behind you, so if you can do. But I was not being a dick with my sign. I'm very aware of that kind of stuff. So that guy sucks. So he was annoying. Other than that, pretty good crowd. No fights, nothing like that. I didn't have no one dropped their phone. Last show I was at, someone dropped their phone, and it went through a little crack, and it just went into the abyss. And that dude was panicking for probably an hour until they found his phone. Regardless, so show kicks off. We got Mercedes Moné coming out, and I was going crazy. I love Mercedes Moné. I was getting chirped for my sign. One guy was giving me a hard time because he hates Mercedes Moné. I'm like, dude, she's my girl. I love her so much. But she comes out, she says some stuff. We're going crazy, chanting CEO, CEO. But I will say, I'm not going to be I didn't take notes while I was at the show or anything, so I'm just kind of going off of my memory here. But Mercedes comes out, Sky Blue and Julia Hart come out, and then Willow and Chris Statlander come out. So there's this beef between Mercedes Moné and Willow Nightingale that was in New Japan, and they're teasing it here. I cannot wait to get that Mercedes Moné versus Willow Nightingale. I think those two are going to be magical together. Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné, she works wonders with the bigger female wrestlers, and Willow is extremely talented. So really fun way to kick off the show. The fucking pyro scared the shit out of me. I was just getting to my new seat, my proper seat, and they went off, and I fucking jumped. This fucking really sweet girl who was selling fucking food and stuff, she was beside me. She jumped 3 feet into the air, had the shit scared out of her. We had a good giggle about that. But that was a fun way to kick off the show. And then we move into the AEW Continental Championship match. It's Eddie King versus Okada. And this was a great crowd match right here. We're all cheering for Eddie and Okada. I was on both sides. I like both these dudes. And shockingly, Okada gets the win here. He's the new champion. The match was a lot of fun. I love Okada. And Eddie Kingston, man. We go nuts every time Eddie Kingston comes to Toronto. And hearing the chops, you can hear them so clear from my seat. I was not all the way in the back, but pretty back there. We were back there, but oh man, you can just hear the contact. You can hear the strikes hitting each other. It was awesome. Okada's chest was beat red after 8 seconds. Just a classic, really good fucking stiff back and forth fight. And I was rather surprised to see Okada getting the win, but it makes a lot of sense. You're going to have a guy like Okada come to your organization, and Eddie already has 3 championships. He's fine to lose one of them, so that's cool. And then Pac came out, didn't do anything. He just kind of stared at Okada, so I guess that's probably going to be Okada's first opponent, and that will be magical. That will be really fun. We have a Swerve Strickland interview where we got to say, whose house? Swerve's house. That's always a really fun chant to do. And then we get another interview with Statlander, Willow Nightingale, getting ready for their street fight. Mercedes Moné walked in, and they were talking about, that little bit of a beef that they have in New Japan. So, I again, can't wait. They've been teasing it, and I just want it. Now we get to something really interesting. So we got Chris Jericho versus Hook. And, bro, I was shocked at how much hate Chris Jericho was getting. Like, wow. I know Chris Jericho's been dealing with some, like, outside of the ring controversies and stuff, but to have Chris Jericho, one of the greatest of all time, a Canadian hometown hero, getting booed in his hometown, I was shocked, man. Like, there was, like, me and one other dude cheering for Chris Jericho. Everybody else was hating on him. Like, get this old fuck out of the ring, like, you're terrible. I was shocked, man. I was really shocked at how people were treating Chris Jericho. I still love the guy. It's one of my favorites of all time. Hook, I'm lukewarm on Hook. Like, he's okay. The match was honestly really kind of boring. Like, literally, it was Hook. Hook does a suplex. Cheer. He goes to the crowd, gets the cheer, does another one. He did that over and over and over again. I mean, the guys that were hating on Chris Jericho were loving it, but I don't know. The match was okay. I'm not a big fan of Hook. He's cool. Like, I said this to my wife. Like, I like Hook's entrance theme song better than I like Hook. Like, his music is so fucking good. Match was fine, but I don't know what is going on with the hatred of Chris Jericho all of a sudden. I feel like last year when we saw Chris, we loved him. There was a little bit of hate because right around that time, that's where this controversy, I'm really, I can't remember what it was exactly. Probably some sort of sexual assault thing. That's what I think it was. But yeah, man, ever since that news came out, people have been hating on Chris Jericho, and it's really weird to me. So yeah, that's interesting. We had story time with Adam Cole. I admit I was not listening because I like to take in the atmosphere of the arena when we're rather in a commercial break or they're doing something on the Videotron. Like, I'm looking at it, but I like to look around and see what's going on. We had a Chris Jericho interview. You know, that was fine. Just Jericho kind of being like, oh, you know, Hook's pretty good, and they're gonna continue on with this situation. So I'm not really into it, but it is what it is. We get Tony Schiavone interviewing the aerial assassin, Will Ospreay. That was great. I love Will Ospreay. You know, we were all very disappointed when he, you know, basically said, hey, I'm not wrestling here tonight, but I'm going to wrestle next week. And yeah, we were all pretty bummed out about that because, oh man, Will Ospreay, man, that match that he had against Kenny Omega at Forbidden Door might be the greatest match I have ever seen. At minimum, the greatest match I've ever seen live. I was fucking going fangirl, like Beatlemania stuff. I almost fainted. It was crazy. It was so good. But yeah, this was a good little interview, very similar to what he does. He says bruv, we chant bruv, and it was good. We all love Will Ospreay, at least most of us. Now we got the AEW Women's Champion timeless Toni Storm and Mariah May versus the Deonna Purrazzo and Thunder Rosa. We weren't really active with this match. I mean, I was going crazy for Toni Storm. I love her. She's great. The crowd was pretty lukewarm on this one. We were clapping, but we weren't going crazy. And then we get Swerve Strickland with Prince Nana. We went crazy for Nana doing the dance. We're all dancing. We did the Who's House, Swerve's House, and he was going up against the Butcher. Very random. For a second there, I thought Butcher was Goldberg, and he wasn't. So Swerve wins that match. It was fine. Samoa Joe comes out. They have a little bit of a chat. I went crazy for Samoa Joe. He's the man. Get to do the Joe. Oh man, chanting is so much fun at the shows. Like, that's why we go. Like, it's a lot of fun. It's just a lot of fun. So that went down. Don Callis came out. Holy shit. We booed Don Callis so loud I didn't hear a single word that he said. And Don Callis came out like 4 or 5 times throughout the Dynamite and Rampage, and every time he came out, we gave it to him. And I really like Don Callis. Like, we were being pretty rude about it, like tell him to go fuck himself and stuff like that. And Don would, you'd see him react to us, and it's just I love that. Really good stuff right there. And then we get to the main event, baby. We get TNT Championship, I Quit match. It's Christian Cage versus the Rated R superstar, Adam Copeland. And holy fuck, this was so freaking fun. This match was awesome. Right away, the Boston, that guy who wore a Boston Bruin jersey, fucking bold strategy, bro. Like, we went nuts. So Edge and Christian, they're fighting out in the crowd. They're fighting in a penalty box, and there's a fan in the crowd with a Leaf jersey on, and there's a fan in the crowd with a Bruins jersey. Edge is like, give me that fucking Bruins jersey, and he puts it on Christian, grabs the Leaf jersey, puts it on himself, and then they have a good old hockey fight in the penalty box. I was going fucking crazy. That was so good. We're chanting, go Leafs, go, Bruins suck. Oh my God, that was freaking excellent. Fighting in the crowd, they actually came up. They were right in front of us, man. Like, they're right fighting in front of my section. I could see the sweat on Edge. I could see Brinsberg, bright bald head, right in front of me. Oh God, it was crazy. They went out into the what the fuck, concourse, I think they call it. They went into the women's bathroom, and that was fucking hilarious. Oh my God, the little ladder that they brought out. It was such a cute little ladder. Oh man, there was so much good shit going on. They had like the hockey net came out. He Edge whacked Christian with the hockey stick. We had a whole bunch of low blows. The freaking thumbtacks came out. That was 2 bags of thumbtacks. Thank you very much. We were really hoping for the Lego pieces. My little group, we were all chanting for Lego pieces. Didn't get the Lego. Didn't get fire. I loved when Christian, he was, I think he was getting choked out. Whenever Brinsberg would go over, ask him, hey, do you quit? Christian, I love it. Like, one point he's getting choked out. He's just like, no. And the other time he's just like, I never quit, unlike your Toronto Maple Leafs. I'm just like, I love that heel stuff, man. I love when they take the little cheap shots at us. I go crazy for it. It's so freaking funny. Bring out Spike. We went crazy for that, and he fucking whacked him right in the nuts with it, man. Like, oh my God, that was some good shit right there. And of course, the ending was a lot of fun with the spike, and he was about to crack him over the head with it, and he quits like a baby. You get the barbed wire steel chair. It was, oh man, there was a lot of great stuff in there. I had a great time with that match. By far the best match of the night. Super fun. Crowd was going nuts the whole time. On our feet. It was great. That was such a fun match. Over the moon with the Jersey hockey fight. That was so fucking good. Oh, that was so much fun. And Edge is the new TNT champion. I've got two new champions in Toronto. Really awesome. Edge's first championship in AEW. Glad that I was there to see him win his first championship in AEW. I saw him his last match in Canada in the WWE. I bought his $50 t-shirt. I got it framed over there. And yeah, man, that was a good show. Sadly, we didn't get to have the nice classic Edge speech that he always gives Toronto after the show is over, because they went right into AEW or Rampage. But oh my God, a little behind the scenes. So they have to clean all that shit up right after the show, and they had a big confetti celebration for Edge, and oh my God, were they ever struggling to get all that confetti. And they used the stupidest tool in the world to try and move it. They had a leaf blower, and they're just blowing these little confetti pieces all over the place, making a bigger mess. They just got it all out of the ring, and then they blew it all back into the ring. Fucking chaos. You got thumbtacks, broken tables, fucking weapons all over the place. They got that all cleaned up, and then they head into Rampage. We started off Rampage with a little video from Jay White and the Guns at a really nice house hanging out by a pool. I was not listening, but I turned over and I saw they had a skeleton as Darby Allin. They just had him like slide down the water slide. That made me giggle, so that was funny. They got the Trios champions. The Acclaimed came out. We got to do the Acclaimed stuff he was talking about. I don't even know. Again, not really listening, just wanting to do chants at this point. We move into a tournament wildcard match. There was Best Friends, Orange Cassidy and Trent Beretta versus Powerhouse Hobbs and Keal Fletcher. That was a solid, fun match. I always like watching the Orange Cassidy matches, doing the lots of fun chants to do with the Orange Cassidy stuff. And the match was good. I really like Kyle Fletcher. He is the man. Powerhouse doing powerhouse moves. Yeah, it was a solid match. And we got to yell at Don Callis again. The Best Friends won this match. We got a random visit from Shibata. That was sick, and he beat the shit out of Kevin Matthews in a couple of minutes. That was cool. Don Callis family back out again. This time it's Takeshita going up against Rocky Romero. That was a really good match, man. Like, Takeshita, he's one of my favorites in AEW. He is so incredibly talented. All of his moves look so devastating. He is just a treat to watch in the ring. And having him go up against Rocky Romero, he's a really good wrestler himself. I'm happy it wasn't going to be a squash match or anything. They had a good competitive match. I enjoyed that match. And then we get to the main event of Rampage. It is a street fight. Chris Statlander, Willow Nightingale versus Julia Hart and Sky Blue. And this one was also a lot of fun. Lots of weapons, lots of nasty bumps. We get the Sky Blue nailed a, Code Blue on the announce table. That was just, that table did not go. And that looked rather painful. We get more thumbtacks. Sky Blue got power bombed into the thumbtacks. Statlander got thumbtacks put into her mouth and then took a super kick. We were chanting, "You sick fuck," a whole bunch of times. Willow did a Death Valley driver through 2 tables. Like, oh my god, man. They went all out with this one. But sadly, Willow and Statlander lose after Statlander missed a 450 splash, and Julia put in the Heartless, and Julia and Sky Blue win this match. And that was the end of the show. A pretty damn good Rampage. Main event was excellent. That was a ton of fun. Lots of great bumps. Crowd was going nuts. Really like Willow. Yeah, man, that was fun. That was just a great show overall. I always recommend getting out there, going to see a live wrestling show. It is so much fun. Way better than watching it at home. You get to interact with all the chants and everything. It's really easy to get into. Like, the chants aren't crazy if you're not a fan that knows all the chants. I mean, you can get in there really easy. It's fun just to throw down a big, long boo! Just booing at people. It's a ton of fun, man. Yeah, highly recommend it. Now, if you can go, like, whatever show you can go to, try and do the transit if you can. Transit just makes it so much easier, at least for me here in Toronto. Like, Toronto is so chaotic, so hard to get around, and traffic is just absolutely crazy, but it is so much fun going to wrestling shows. I am going to Money in the Bank this summer. My wife and I are doing the 3-day weekend with Friday Night SmackDown. You get the Money in the Bank on Saturday, and then I think it's NXT Heatwave on Sunday, so I'm looking hella forward to that. I cannot wait to see a live Money in the Bank, man. That is definitely one of my bucket list things, to see a Money in the Bank match live, and I actually get the opportunity, and I actually got tickets, so I am over the moon. So yes, I would absolutely recommend going to check out an AEW show. It's a ton of fun, and I think the production value is right up there with WWE. You get the nice fireworks. It looks great. Like, they have great lighting. The stage is beautiful. It's a well done show, and they like to interact with the crowds. Yeah, Tony Khan, he came out and said hello to us. He always does that. He's a big fan of us here in Toronto. He came out, said how awesome we are and how much he appreciates us, and that they're going to come back and they're going to bring another AEW pay-per-view to Toronto. And buddy, you better believe I'm going to be there. I was yelling for another Forbidden Door, but you know, I'm down for anything. Bring a fucking All Out here. Bring All In. Whatever you want to do, baby. I am there for it, but preferably let's not do it at the Coca-Cola Coliseum, because that place is a fucking nightmare to get in and out of at times. So there you go, everybody. That is my review of my live experience at AEW Dynamite and Rampage. Now we'll get back to the regularly recorded episode. And we got Monday Night Raw in Carolina. We're kicking it off with Jey Uso. He comes out to make the crowd go a little bit crazy. Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa arrive through the crowd. Jey and Jimmy face off in the ring with each other. Jimmy claims he protected Jey while Jey was off trying to be main event Jey Uso, and Jey's success has all been because of Jimmy Uso, allegedly. Jey says he will smack the yeet out of Jimmy at WrestleMania, gives Jimmy a preview slap, goes after Solo, but ends up getting double teamed. Here comes Cody to save the day. Solid opener right here. Only the third time, apparently, that brothers will face off at WrestleMania. Will this one be the best? I remember very vividly the Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy one. That was awesome. I think it's Owen Hart and Bret Hart had a match. Obviously, that was spectacular. And now we're going to have Jimmy and Jey Uso. On paper, it's probably going to be the weakest of the three. It'd be great if they could add a grudge match stipulation, no disqualifications, because obviously Solo is going to come in. It's going to be a big part of the fucking match, and I really hope that they add in a no disqualification kind of thing, because are we really going to do a shenanigan finish for this match involving Solo at WrestleMania? That is not going to go over well, so we'll see how that goes. We move on. It is Paul Heyman. He is angry with Adam Pearce. Then he apologizes to Adam. Solo and Jimmy says they're going to be gone. They're not going to be causing you any more problems tonight. And he says that Paul Heyman himself will also be leaving after a little bit of business. So, all right. We move on. Six-pack ladder match. Qualifying match. It's DIY, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa versus the Creed Bros, Julius and Brutus. Brutus, nice hot tag, taking DIY out with multiple German suplexes, Northern Light suplex combo, beautiful. Julius, impressive deadlift suplex. Brutus pounces Ciampa, he goes flying over the announce table. Julius and Ciampa going shot for shot in the middle of the ring, that was awesome. Julius locks Ciampa in the ankle lock, power bombs Johnny with one freaking arm, are you kidding me, dude? Thumbs up. Creed's power out of submissions, hurl DIY into each other. Ciampa avoids the Brutus ball, counters into a really close near fall. Gargano super kick, Ciampa rolls up, pins, and wins. Holy shit. DIY, they punch their ticket to WrestleMania. Awesome tag team match right here. Creed Bros, oh my god. Gotta be the most talented tag team in the world right now. These guys are amazing. DIY making the Creeds look great in defeat. Awesome selling. The near falls were great. And the counters were on point. And there was even a little bit of stiffness thrown in there. I like it. 8 out of 10. That was a great match. We got Judgment Day. They're talking a little bit of strategy backstage. They're teasing Andrade. And Damian is disappointed in JD McDonough for not winning the gauntlet match next week. Well, if you fucking do it yourself, Priest. Jesus. We move on. Apparently, Thunderbolt Pedersen is the next member of the 2024 Hall of Fame induction class. A wrestler way before my time, but congratulations. That is wicked. We got Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell versus Kaden Kata and Katana Chance. Chance tweaks her knee. Candice goes right after the damaged knee, locks in a knee bar, and Chance taps out. Quick match. Candice acting very, very aggressive. Last week she bullied someone with words into quitting the match, and this time, she was being ruthless about it, but it's also smart. Like any other wrestler does that. If they see someone just tweak their knee, I'm going to attack that knee. Everyone does it. Just Candice did it really aggressively and kind of bitchy, but not bad. I didn't hate it. We got Cody Rhodes. He cuts a promo, says The Rock isn't a heel. He's just an asshole. Oh, damn. All right. He said it. Claims The Rock is the real crybaby, complaining to the TKO board. Cody says he knows Rock's mama, but Cody will not go down that road disrespecting The Rock's mama. All right. Cody wonders if Rock will bring the electric energy, or will he bring that little dick energy? Oh my God, Cody. Loving this. Paul Heyman's heard enough. He tries to calm Cody down with an apology. Heyman says he will still be in Roman's corner Friday. Of course you will. Good promo from Cody. I'm already feeling the shenanigans incoming for WrestleMania, man. Like, if we do this again, you're running this story back for a second time. If you're going to have Cody Rhodes lose to Roman and Roman continues to be the champion, this part-time bullshit champion, everyone's going to be pissed, man. Like, you cannot do this. That will kill Cody. I can smell shenanigans. I'm hoping that the shenanigans are only going to lead to Cody winning and making it all that more sweet, but I'm already seeing it. They're going to slowly start squeezing in fucking more bullshit for this match, and I'm not about it, but we'll just have to wait till WrestleMania and see if Cody does, in fact, finish the story. We got Ricochet versus Dom Mysterio up next with JD McDonough. Ricochet hits the recoil on Dom for another quick W. Ricochet has Judgment Day's number right now. He's kind of been picking them apart, working his way up that ladder. I'm guessing next would be Finn or Damian Priest, but they're tag team champions, so is he going to get a partner, maybe fight for the titles? Who knows? But it's Ricochet. Ricochet is awesome. We move on. Sami Zayn, he finds Chad Gable backstage, proud of the match that they had last week, and they should be. It was awesome. Gable clearly frustrated. He didn't win. Sami asks Gable, "What's up your ass, bro?" And Chad says he doesn't believe that Sami Zayn can beat Gunther at WrestleMania. I mean, Gable didn't win either, so what do you want, Gable? I know you're upset, but fuck, let Sami have a turn, and we'll see how that goes. Adam Pearce now, he is in the ring for the Intercontinental Championship contract signing, brings out the challenger, Sami Zayn, and then the champion, Gunther. Gunther is upset with Sami for dressing like a civilian. You know, Gunther comes out, nice suit, looking great. Sami just a t-shirt and pants, like, okay. Sami fires back, says he will become the new Intercontinental Champion at WrestleMania. Gunther says nobody, not even Sami, truly believes that he can beat Gunther. Both sides sign the contract. Gunther leaves. Sami says, "Wait, look into my eyes." Gunther says that, and it's over. That's it. All right. We just needed to see the passion in Sami Zayn's eyes, and it's in there, but Gunther's like, cool, man, passion doesn't win matches, so all good. Pretty good segment. Moving on. It is The Miz and R-Truth. They perform a What's Up remix for the crowd. That was great. Who doesn't love themselves a little What's Up? Moving on. Well, moving in, I guess. Miz and R-Truth versus Indusher, Sangha, and Veer. And with Jinder Mahal, nobody can hinder the Jinder. Don't forget that. And this is a 6-pack ladder match qualifier. R-Truth with the hot tag nails the Cena combo. Miz hits the skull-crushing finale. Truth elbowed in the face, falls into the pinfall, and accidentally wins the match for R-Truth and The Miz. They qualify for the 6-pack ladder match at WrestleMania. Holy shit, we're going to have R-Truth at WrestleMania. What kind of shenaniganery is he going to get up to? I'm guessing that he's probably going to think he's in a different match. Like, maybe he tries... I don't know what they can really do with that. Like maybe he pulls out a fucking table and tries to put someone through the table, and then he thinks he won, but it's not a tables match. Regardless, you just know that funny stuff is going to happen with R-Truth in that match. I cannot wait. We move on. Sami Zayn finds Chad Gable again to ask him why he can't beat Gunther. Gable says Sami is losing the mental game that Gunther is playing with him. Not wrong. He's not wrong there. We got a CM Punk video announces he will be at WrestleMania. Not wrestling, more than likely, but he will be there, and he's also going to be at Raw in Chicago because you have to. You gotta have CM Punk at Chicago. We move on. Drew McIntyre's entrance is rudely interrupted by the world champion Seth "Freakin' Rollins. Seth calls Drew mean names. Seth dramatically admits that he is, in fact, a spotlight junkie. Drew, not in the mood for jokes, wants Seth to take the World Heavyweight Championship seriously. Seth calls McIntyre a baby who's always asking for more and is never satisfied with what he's got. A good back and forth promo right here. I enjoy this. Both of these guys are on fire right now, in the ring, out of the ring. Thumbs up. We got another 6-pack ladder match qualifier. It's the New Day, Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods versus Alpha Academy, Otis and Tozawa. Tozawa hits a nice Frankensteiner counter, then huge air off to that senton splash off the top rope. Nails Xavier with that, but Kofi is there to make the save. Xavier nails Tozawa with a springboard elbow drop, and the New Day win. They're heading to WrestleMania. Yeah. Really good back and forth tag team match. Alpha Academy, good effort. I'm sad that they're not going to be involved, but, you know, without Chad Gable in there, like, I really like Tozawa, really like Otis, but Gable is the straw that stirs the drink in Alpha Academy, and he's doing some other stuff right now. So I get it. You gots to have New Day in there, and you better not fucking put him on the pre-show again. I'll hurt a bitch. Main event time. We have a last women standing match. Becky Lynch and Nia Jax. We're ending this feud. Let's go. Nia, having some table malfunctions, nails Becky with a Samoan drop on a pile of chairs instead. Becky shoots off a fire extinguisher at Nia. Becky gets Samoan drop through a table, nailed with the Annihilator, but Becky somehow gets to her feet because she rolled out of the ring. So smart, Becky. Becky manhandle slam off the apron through the table. Nice crash right there. I'll hit that with a thumbs up. Nia barely back to her feet after that. Becky leg drop off of the ladder to Nia's face. She goes through the announce table. Holy fuck, that looked painful as hell. Thumbs up. Becky back to her feet. Nia cannot answer the 10 count, and Becky Lynch wins the last women's standing match. Damn, bro, that was an awesome main event grudge match. Big bumps from both women, good use of the weapons. Yeah, 8 out of 10, that was great. And the women's champion, Rhea Ripley, makes her way to the ring to have a face-off with Becky Lynch. These two will face off with each other at WrestleMania. Oh, it's going to be a good one. And a pretty good Monday Night Raw this week. Wrestling was mostly good. The last woman standing was awesome. And that DIY Creed match was fucking a little treat. Filling out more of the six-pack ladder match. We had like 2 or 3 of those matches. Solid segments. Candice still developing to this really mean woman. I don't know what's going to go on with that. Maybe Indy Hartwell ends up turning on her because she's going like too far with it. We'll see where that goes. And Cody, Drew, and Seth had some good promos this show as well. 7 out of 10 for Monday Night Raw. We go to NXT, and we're kicking it off with Roxanne Perez versus Tatum Baxley. Tatum hits a unique pump handle, like flip slamming thing. I don't think I've ever seen something like that. Really cool. Got a near fall with that. Perez locks in a crossface, and Paxley forced to tap out. Perez wins. Quick match, pretty good, considering the lack of time that they gave them. Not bad back and forth fight. Roxanne cuts a promo, calls out the GM Ava Raine to give her a title shot right now. Women's champion Lyra Valkyria runs down with her arm still in a sling. She's like, fuck it, I'm throwing hands right now. She gets into a fight with Perez. Roxanne takes advantage of the injured arm of the champion, locking in an armbar. Lyra demands Ava to make the match Valkyria versus Perez for the women's championship at Stand and Deliver. And that's more than likely going to happen. It's going to be a damn fine match, I think. We got Josh Briggs, the man of mayhem now, he's calling himself. He grabs a microphone, calls out Oba Femi to throw hands with him right here, right now. Oba arrives, says, you don't want any of this. Dijak interjects, says it's his shot. His turn for a shot at Oba. He won the match last week, so yeah. Briggs calls Dijak a wannabe Shaft. And Dijak's like, yo, bro, I'm white. What are you talking about? Just outrageous. All hell breaks loose. I smell a triple threat incoming. And that would be so good, bro. Oh, my God. Briggs, Dijak, Oba, that would be a banger. Oh, yeah. And a solid, surprisingly funny segment right here. Dijak, he can be funny if he wants to. That guy can do it all, I'm telling you. Moving on, we got Shawn Spears. He is talking to himself in the locker room while Joe Gacy creeps on him. All right, we got a couple of weirdos here. Maybe Gacy and Spear would make a really good tag team together. Like just this really weird, crazy, cryptic tag team that are like creeping around on everybody, maybe sneak attacking with chairs. I don't know. Could be fun. We'll see. We got Axiom and Nathan Frazier versus Miles Bourne and Charlie Dempsey with the Quarter Catch Crew. Axiom and Frazier hitting multiple dives. Axiom nails the avalanche Spanish fly. Frazier hits a Phoenix splash on Bourne. They're going freaking crazy. Axiom kicks Dempsey's head off, allowing Frazier to pin Bourne for the W. Little banger of a match right here. Frazier was flying, bro. He was just crazy. Amazing energy out of him. And Miles Bourne, very impressive performance from him, showing off his strength and his speed. Yeah, man, I like the chemistry I was seeing between these two squads. 8 out of 10, that was a little banger. We got Mr. Stone and Von Wagner. They have a big ol' argument with each other. And yeah, Mr. Stone frustrated. Von Wagner just kind of giving him some space. We move on. It's Alpha Academy. They find Breaker and Corbin. They are upset that they aren't on the tag team qualifier. Maxine challenges the champions to a match next week. If Alpha Academy win, they are added to the tag team match at Stand and Deliver. Braun Breaker doesn't even think about it. He accepts it immediately, and Baron is like, come on, bro. Like, come on. Love it. Really good stuff. We move on. It is Sol Ruka going up against Brinley Reese with Blade and Anofe. We got Ruka, neat slam off of the middle rope, nails the Soul Snatcher for the victory. Oh my God, man, I forgot how awesome that Soul Snatcher is. It's like this corner front flip fucking RKO thing. It is awesome. Freaking awesome. Solid, quick match. Brindley still smiling even though she lost. Really gives me that like Thea Hale, just really good hyper energy kind of vibes. Not bad. Now we got the Dawn and the family. They cut a promo. Dawn pumping up Luca Crucifino as like the next big thing in the group. Tony says he will beat the unbreakable Ilya Dragunov at Stand and Deliver. Ilya Dragunov interrupts on screen. He disagrees that he will be defeated. Looking forward to this match. Gonna be a huge moment here for Tony D. A make or break situation. Like, Tony D becomes the champion. I think that would be awesome. At the expense of Dragunov not being champion anymore, I will be very, very sad, but I don't know what the future is going to be with Dragunov, because, like, he's an incredible wrestler, but I really don't see him connecting with, like, the Raw and SmackDown crowds. I don't know if he's going to work up there. Like, his bread and butter is, like, NXT, AEW, Ring of Honor. Would Dragunov jump ship, go somewhere else? I don't know. I don't know what would be best for him. He's in a bit of a tough spot, almost like a Johnny Gargano and Ciampa, like, incredibly talented, can put on fucking 10 out of 10 matches with a lot of people, but I just don't know if that style and their personality is really going to connect with the bigger crowds. We'll just have to wait and see what the future holds for Ilya Dragunov, but first he's got to get through Tony D. We move on. Thea Hale and Riley Osborne clear up any miscommunications that they've had over the last week or so, and it appears that everything is good between the two, what do we call that? Lovebirds, I guess? There you go. Now we got the Heritage Cup Championship. Drew Gulak with the No Quarter Catch Crew or whatever. He's defending against Riley Osborne with Chase U. Riley nails a shooting star press early, grabs a first fall, going up 1-0 after the first round. Gulak with some shady tactics, he is able to roll up Osborne to tie it up 1-1. Gulak throws a cheap shot after the bell. All hell breaks loose. All the people getting in the ring yelling at each other. Rabble, rabble, rabble. Gulak applied to Osborne. He is able to hold on until the end of round 3. Thea Hale flipping out, causing a distraction, allows Jasmine to block Osborne's superplex. Gulak steals the pin and retains the Heritage Cup. Good match. I really enjoy the fact that the No Quarter Catch Crew, they can select any of the members to defend the cup. Last time it was Dempsey, this time it was Gulak. I like that. It adds in variety, makes you guess, and yeah, that's really good. I like that. 7 out of 10 for this match. Now we got Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows, the Good Brothers, versus Hank and Tank. Good Brothers putting a whooping down on Hank. Tank gets the hot tag going crazy, maybe making a few too many hot tags in and out of the match. Good Bros take advantage. Magic Killer, they grab the W. Like I said, nice to see Hank and Tank. They get a match. Still have some learning to do, but a solid effort. Good Bros, a lot of striking, just solid, whatever. Moving on, main event time. Noam Dar with the Metaphor going up against Trick Williams. Lash Legend acting concerned for Trick while he's getting beaten up. Trick, nice pop-up uppercut. Trick tossed into the steel steps, gets cut on the side of his head. We got a little bit of blood. Trick gets seduced by Lash Legend. Dar roll-up attempt doesn't work. Dar runs into the Trick shot, and Trick Willie wins. Great effort here from Trick, strong selling. I'm really digging his Booker T moves. He's got the book end, some of the kicks that Booker T used to use, like that. And Noam Dar, good work as well from him. Crowd is absolutely over the moon with Trick Williams. He can do no wrong at this moment. 7 out of 10, good main event. Carmelo's security guards swarm the ring. Melo appears on the stage, but it's not actually Melo. Melo was actually dressed as one of the security guards and sneak attacks Trick Williams. Oh my goodness, nicely played, Carmelo. I thought he was going to do that last week, but nope, saved it for this week. And that's the end of the show. Good NXT this week. Roxanne continues her hot streak. The North American title picture looking really interesting right now. Throwing a solid segment or two. Wrestling pretty solid overall. 7 out of 10 for NXT. And we finish things off with SmackDown in Milwaukee. We got Rey Mysterio versus Santos Escobar up first. Santos powerbombs Rey into the ring post and then squishes Rey's bad leg between the steel steps. Ouch. Mysterio dives off of the top rope to the floor and wipes out Santos, then nails a West Coast pop off of the announce table. Damn, Ray. Ray's springboard stopped by none other than his son, Dom Mysterio. Santos nails a 619. A Santos driver and Escobar defeats Rey Mysterio. Good opening match. You know, Rey has not missed a beat in his whole entire career. Still looks so freaking good out there. Strong performance. And Santos pretty good as well. The chemistry between the two are good, but I've always wanted it to be better. Like, they have good matches, but I was hoping for great, maybe even excellent matches. But 7 out of 10, still good. And Dom Mysterio messing with his dad again. Are we teasing a potential WrestleMania match? Father versus son, that would be great. Or I feel like there's something going on with the LWO and Legado, and one of those teams maybe gonna do something big. I don't know. But we got Dom messing with his dad again. We move on. It's Bayley. She finds Naomi backstage, apologizes to Naomi for getting her involved with the Damage Control drama. Bianca Belair shows up. She calls out Bayley for all the times that Damage Control attacked her while Bayley was in charge. Where's my apology? Naomi takes a very pissed off Bianca away, and Naomi tells Bianca they need to unite together to take out Damage Control and not be fighting with each other. She's speaking some truth right there. Pretty solid segment. We move on. Tag team tournament for, I think, the final spot in the six-pack ladder match thing. I don't know. We got Grayson Waller and Theory going up against the OC, Gallows and Anderson with Mia Yim. Magic Killer stopped. We get the roll up by Theory. Grayson grabs onto Theory's feet, stealing the win from the OC. And there you go. Theory and Waller advance in the tournament. I mean, I would rather have them move on. I don't think they're heading to WrestleMania. The match was okay. We move on. Naomi versus Io Sky with Damage Control. Io is late for her entrance because she was whooping Bayley's ass backstage. No big deal. Naomi, neat springboard bulldog. Io hits the nasty double knees in the corner. Damage Control distracting Naomi, allowing Io to hit over the moonsault for a W. Really solid match. Pretty stiff offense I found in this one. Back and forth. Both women throwing some bombs in there. I was feeling the chemistry in the ring. Too bad about the shenanigans, but yeah, I think there's some good stuff here with Naomi and Io Sky in the ring. Damage Control dealing extra damage to Naomi. Bianca charges the ring, fights off Damage Control, but ends up getting overwhelmed by the numbers. We move on. It's Jade Cargill. She has signed with SmackDown officially, and we will see Jade Cargill appear on SmackDown next week. Will she be fighting? More than likely not. Just gonna probably have an introduction. Probably someone's gonna come out, and that will be her first feud. Now, who is that woman gonna be? I don't know. We'll move on. Kevin Owens' conversation interrupted by Pretty Deadly, who are pretty pissed off they aren't going to WrestleMania. Kevin Owens is pissed off that he was just interrupted, challenges Pretty Deadly to a match next week with his partner, who just happens to be walking by at this moment, Randy Orton. Good luck with that, Pretty Deadly. You're dead, man. You're dead, man. We are shown police footage of LA Knight fighting with AJ Styles at his house. Fucking LA Knight flipping out as the police take him away. It's just, yeah. Unreal segment right here. Very, very funny. I'll hit that with a thumbs up. We got another tag team title tournament thingy going on. It's the Street Profits, Dawkins and Ford versus AOP, Akeem and Razor with the Final Testament. Ford dived to the outside, caught by AOP, and then thrown into Dawkins. That was pretty dope. Thumbs up for that. Montez roll-up pin during a distraction steals the W for the Profits. Yeah, pretty solid standard tag team match right here. They better beat Waller and Theory. The Profits deserve to go to WrestleMania. I miss these guys. I am not getting enough Street Profits on a weekly basis, and I want to see them go to Mania, do well in that ladder match. Should be a lot of fun. Roman Reigns, he arrives for the big, long entrance. He invites Cody Rhodes to the ring to acknowledge him. Cody arrives. Roman calls Cody a stupid, dumb idiot and a whole bunch of fucking little playground kid names and stuff like that. Roman reminds Cody that Rollins and Roman were in the Shield together, where Seth did one of the biggest backstabs ever in the WWE. Cody ain't worried about Seth betraying him because Seth hates Roman more than he would ever hate Cody Rhodes. Cody asks Roman if he can trust The Rock. Roman calls Cody number 2. Cody says, "No way, Jose, I'm the one." Offers Roman a handshake. Of course, Roman refuses. Leaves the ring, snaps his fingers. Here comes Solo and Jimmy Uso. They appear in the crowd, but also Seth Rollins and Jey Uso appear in the crowd. Bloodline not pleased. We have a big ol' stare-off, and that's all she wrote, folks. That's the end of SmackDown. Pretty mediocre show overall this week. The opening match was pretty good. Rest of the wrestling was kind of okay. Nothing special. Doing that tag team little mini tournament was meh. Mania storyline progression with Bayley and Damage Control, doing pretty good, pretty safe, nothing crazy. I like what Bianca's doing back there, just being very frustrated, losing her mind. Ending segment was very long and drawn out. Dropped a couple interesting betrayal ideas. Will that go down? Would The Rock betray Roman Reigns? I don't think that would happen this WrestleMania, but let's just say everything goes wrong for the Bloodline. Rock blames Roman, and then we move on to Rock Roman for WrestleMania next year, potentially. We'll see where that goes. A 5 out of 10 for SmackDown this week. And that's all the wrestling, because apparently there was no Collision this week. I would have had my recap out a lot earlier if I'd known that. Last night, my wife and I went to watch Collision. No Collision this week, so there you go. So we'll go to the 3 stars of the week now. Let's start out with a shout-out. Gotta shout out Willow and Chris Statlander versus Julia Hart and Sky Blue in the street fight. I was there live. Tons of fun. Lots of weapons. The thumbtacks. They got it all in there. Lots of fun. Crowd was still very into the show at this point. Not very many of us left. You know, usually when they, Dynamite ends, like, all right, everyone, we're going into Rampage now. Last time I was there for Collision, I'd say well over half of the people left. Not the case this time. Everyone stuck around for the whole show, which was great. And now we move into the 3 stars of the week. Third star goes to... It's the last women's standing match. Becky Lynch versus Nia Jax on Raw this week. Just finishing off this very long grudge match and just feud that these two ladies have had with each other for years now. And it was a fucking damn fine match. Maybe one of the best matches that Nia Jax has ever been in. Really like the chemistry between these two. Obviously, a great story and feud that they've had with each other really helps the match. And yeah, they were beating the shit out of each other. Really good stuff. Good enough for the 3rd star. 2nd star goes to... It's DIY versus the Creed Bros on Monday Night Raw. I love the Creed Bros. They are so fucking talented. Devastated that they didn't win this match, but I still feel like they're going to do like a last chance situation for a final team to get into that 6-pack challenge at WrestleMania. I'm really hoping the Creeds get in there. Like, these guys need a WrestleMania stage, show so many people how amazing these guys are. I still think that they're the best tag team in the world right now. They're amazing and such great chemistry with DIY. Another fantastic tag team and just a really strong tag team division right now in the WWE. Fuck yeah, really good tag team match right there. Good enough for the 2nd star, but the 1st star goes to... It has to go to Edge versus Christian, the I Quit match on Dynamite. Oh my goodness. I was there live. It was awesome. The hockey fight with the Boston Bruins jersey and the Leafs jersey, that was 10 out of 10. One of the coolest moments I've experienced at a live show. That was so much fun. They were fighting, I don't know, maybe 10 feet away from me. They got out into the crowd. They were super close. Went out into the concourse. Did a little bit of goofy shit in the women's bathroom. I loved it. Just an excellent match. Lots of weapons, table spots, ladders, thumbtacks, blood, you name it. It was all in there. Great finish. Crowd was super into this one, obviously, in Edge's and Christian's hometown, technically. Awesome match. By far my favorite match that I saw this week. A ton of fun. And there you go, everybody. That is the recap this week. Thank you so much for listening. You're awesome. You want to be even more awesome? Make sure you're hitting that review, hit the stars, review the podcast, share it with everybody, all that good stuff. And if you want to help out even more, you can go over to the YouTube channel, Gamer GX Videos, where I upload all of these podcast episodes. You can go over there, watch them, drop a comment, leave a question for the podcast about wrestling, hockey, video games, whatever. Doesn't matter. Send in a question. I'd love to answer it live on the podcast. Shout your name out. All that good stuff. Be a ton of fun. There's an email address there as well. If you want to have a private conversation, that is absolutely fine as well. And there is a Twitter page. You want to follow along on Twitter for announcements and when the podcasts are coming out. All that great stuff. There is a Twitter page for you. So there you go, everybody. Hopefully you're having a good day. Beautiful day here in Canada. Hope you're doing well, and hopefully this podcast helped you get through whatever you're doing today. Some shitty fucking cleaning task, or you're at work listening to the podcast. Thank you for listening, and we'll be back again with some more GX Plus Cast.